Bring that! Bring that!
Touchdown! San Francisco!
McCaffrey's gonna score!
He gets picked off by Hufanga.
Fred Warner with the INT. George Kittle.
That's a sackaroonie, baby.
Ball is out. It is picked up. Run back the other way.
Welcome back, 49er faithful, to another episode of the Gold Rush Podcast. I am your host, Javen Takar. And boy, oh boy, what a season it has been. What a season it has been. I know I haven't really been recording super consistently. It's been kind of hard balancing both channels this season. It's kind of, I guess, my first full season trying to balance both this channel and then Run Amok, which if you guys want to tune into that one, where I post about the entire NFL, besides just the 49ers, which of course, you know, the Niners are my team. But, last time I covered the Niners, it was week 5. Here we are sitting beginning of week 8, and the Niners are sitting at 3-4, folks. 3-4, below 500 on the record, third in the NFC West, and it's felt like quite a heck of a season. So let's just talk about that record real quick, because today we're going to dive into, is it time to panic? What is the panic meter at for the 49ers? I think the answer might surprise some of you folks. So 3-4, of course, those 4 losses coming to the Minnesota Vikings, who that loss has aged okay. Okay, the Vikings are cerebral contenders. You know, they're what are they, number 2 in the NFC or something like that? They're highly up there. They just got their first loss against the Detroit Lions. That second loss coming to the Los Angeles Rams, of course, they're 2-4. They're not a good football team. They're going to be trading away guys at the trade deadline more than likely. Of course, not 100%. So that loss has aged pretty poorly. Their 2 wins are against the Niners and the Raiders. Peep the background. The third loss coming against the Arizona Cardinals, this one was just a heartbreaker, a true team loss. I was in attendance for this game, and oh boy, what a game it was. That was the last video we made. And then the last loss coming to the Kansas City Chiefs, who we just witnessed. You know, we're still kind of fresh off that wound. We'll never beat the Kansas City Chiefs, it feels like. Kyle Shanahan is, 0-5 in his career, or as a head coach, something like that. But those 3 wins, let's talk about those 3 wins, guys. The New York Jets, okay, that win has aged poorly. We thought that was a really good win against a talented team. It was not. The Jets have proven that they're not a put-together team. Talented, sure. Play together chemistry-wise, no. The New England Patriots, they're not good. We should have won that win, and we did. Probably not in the fashion that we should have, though. I feel like we should have blown them out. And then the Seattle Seahawks, that win is probably the most impressive win. That's the win that's going to carry us. If we win this division, it's going to be thanks to that win. So sitting at 3-4 with some unimpressive wins and some poor losses. Not good. But hey, let's take a trip down memory lane back to 2022, where the 49ers also started 3-4, folks. You guessed it. Now, this was the season where Trey Lance started week 1 against the Chicago Bears. Week 2, they come out against the Seattle Seahawks. Trey Lance goes down, gets injured. Jimmy Garoppolo for the rest of the way. Then, of course, Jimmy Garoppolo gets injured, against the Dolphins? And then Brock Purdy took us to the NFC Championship game, folks. Starting 3-4, made our way to the NFC Championship game. Okay, so those losses were to the Chicago Bears, not a good loss. The Denver Broncos by 1 point, not a good loss. And then the Atlanta Falcons by 2 touchdowns, not a good loss. And then the Kansas City Chiefs. And then they went on a run after that, knocking off the Rams, knocking off the Chargers, knocking off the Cardinals, etc., etc. We didn't see another 49ers loss until the NFC Championship game, with Brock Purdy getting, his elbow got decimated. But that is what it is. This team doesn't feel as talented as that team, though. Point blank period. This team feels kind of heartless. It feels like a bunch of guys that got paid and aren't super hungry anymore. Besides 54, Fred Warner. Fred Warner is out there. He's balling week in and week out. So yeah, this team, they need to find a spark. They need to find that spirit within them. I think most fans, they know that this team's got that dog in them. It's just a matter of, are we going to get that out of these guys? Third in division, 2 losses in the division. But you're still number 3rd. You're still number 3. Tied with the Arizona Cardinals record-wise, and the Seahawks are a game above. We play the Seattle Seahawks in a couple of weeks. That game is going to be major. If the Niners want a chance in the playoffs, in my opinion, you got to win the division. You got to win the division. So you need to win out pretty much the rest of the division games. You're going to get another shot at Arizona. You're going to get another shot against the Rams. You got to take those shots. So if you can finish the division 4-2, okay, you got a shot. You got to hope that the Seahawks, they fall off. You also got to hope that the Cardinals drop a game or two, which I believe they will. The Cardinals may be competitive, and so that's the thing with us being tied with them. They have that tiebreaker above us. So we've got to take that dub. We've got to beat them so they don't have the division record on us. Let's talk about, of course, the major reason why the 49ers are at a point where they are. The injury bug. The injury bug has decimated this team, man. And it's starting from last season. It's starting from the dang Super Bowl, where Dre Greenlaw tore his Achilles, and that unfortunate injury has leaked into this year. We haven't had Dre Greenlaw out there. We've had Devondre Campbell playing out there, and he is not a fraction of the coverage guy that Greenlaw is, and not even close to the energy that Greenlaw brought to the team, especially the defense that really fires them up. And then, of course, Christian McCaffrey. He's dealing with Achilles tendonitis in both his legs. So we haven't seen any action out of those two. So getting them back, hopefully sometime after the bye week, is going to be huge for this team. And that could be the major push that this team needs to go on a run, to go on a win streak, and hopefully sneak into the playoffs. But also we're dealing with a couple of other injuries. Brandon Ayuk, he's out for the season. Torn MCL, torn ACL, plus some potential other damage. Super unfortunate. I know he wasn't having the season that a lot of fans was hoping he would have, but regardless, his gravity that he brings, the plays are there. He just needs to catch the football, and he was getting there slowly but steadily. So that was just a huge blow to the team, especially after dealing with Deebo Samuel that same game against the Kansas City Chiefs, who was out sick with an illness, and this illness was so bad, he got pneumonia, fluid in his lungs, he had to be hospitalized. So who knows if he's going to be good to go Sunday night? Who knows if he's going to be good to go next week against Tampa Bay? So Deebo is also kind of getting bit by the bug. And then Juwan Jennings, the wide receiver 3. He's dealing with a hip injury. Again, he was out against Kansas City. Hopefully he's good to go. George Kittle, he's dealing with a foot injury. He's day-to-day. I do expect him to be good to go by Sunday night, though. Jake Moody, he's on IR. He's got a high ankle sprain. The heck is going on? One kicker is out. Oh, my goodness. Okay, our backup kicker, Matthew Wright, he comes in. He tries to make a tackle, too. He dislocates his shoulder. He's on IR now. So both kicker 1 and kicker 2 injured. And now we're on to Anders Carlson. So take that as you will. Hopefully he doesn't get bit by the bug as well. Talanoa Hufanga tore his ACL last season. Everybody was hoping and praying he was going to be good to go. Hey, he comes back, he plays, all fun and dandy, hurts his wrists, he's on IR. Lovely. Javon Hargrave, defensive tackle, D-line depth is so thin. Tears his tricep, he's out for the season. Goodness gracious. Yetur Gross-Matos, who was kind of an underrated D-line depth, he was kind of an underrated signing. He's got a knee injury. He's on IR. And then John Feliciano, he also is banged up with a knee injury, but he has been hinting on social media that he will be back soon. So hopefully Feliciano gets in the mix, and maybe we put him at the center, maybe put him at left guard with Aaron Banks. He's kind of always iffy, in and out. Hey, hopefully Feliciano is good to go at right tackle. Maybe Colton McKivitz, watch your spot. So the injury bug has been a big reason of these 4 losses, and also a big reason the Niners' game plan seems so shallow. The red zone offense is one of the worst in the league. Christian McCaffrey scored a heck of a lot of touchdowns last season. He was that red zone guy. So his absence is most noticed in that red zone. So again, hopefully, Christian McCaffrey gets back. We get that efficiency up a little bit. The Dallas Cowboys, Sunday Night Football. This is the best get-back game that the Niners could have in this case scenario that they're at right now. Yes, they're 3-4. Yes, they're dealing with injuries. But if you can go out there Sunday night on prime time and decimate the Dallas Cowboys, and I'm talking decimate. I'm not saying it's going to be a close game, just get the win. You need to destroy them just like they did last season, and also what kicked off this channel. So that'll be pretty sick to watch. So hopefully you put a beating on the Dallas Cowboys, defeat them emotionally, defeat them physically, defeat them on the scoreboard, everything. Defeat them. I think some of the keys to doing so is Kyle Shanahan's got to open the playbook. He's got to get creative. We're seeing it week in and week out. The Shanahan playbook is getting stopped. It's getting stale. All these man-beating crosser routes, they're not working. Throw them out. Let's get some more motion going on. Let's get some end-arounds going. Let's get some fancy screens going. I think Shanahan sees, guys like Jordan Mason out there, Ricky Pearsall. He sees the young guys, and I think that he kind of gets a little scared. He gets a little cooped up. He gets in his own head. He overthinks. And Shanahan, I think you just got to let loose a little bit, buddy. Trust your system, because we've seen great things out of it. The red zone offense, we just talked about it. It's got to improve. It's got to be better. You got to get in the end zone. Can't be settling for field goals. Got to get in the end zone. Yes, this team is injured, but it's still talented. Again, as I mentioned, trust those young guys. Trust Ricky Pearsall, who, hey, he's back. Let's highlight him for a little bit against Kansas City. He's back. He wasn't getting much separation on man that you would have liked to see, I think. But, hey, it's his first game back. I expect him to hopefully be involved, especially if Debo's out, especially if Jennings is out, and he's supposed to be the receiver one. I expect him to step up to the moment. I think that, again, opening with the playbook, establish that run game, Shanny. Establish that run game with Mason. Don't let up on it too early. I know Kansas City was all over it. But then, Mason started breaking loose a little bit. Establish that run game with Mason, and then hit some play action. You got to trick the defense a little bit, man. His playbook is getting predictable, and I do trust that Shanahan will figure that out, especially with the bye week looming. And then also I want to mention how the defense has improved week by week. Devondre Campbell is still a liability, but they are throwing in D. Winters in there a lot more. We're seeing Renardo Green on the outside along with Ward and Lenore in the slot. So I kind of like how the defense is looking. Malik Mustafa was really laying the boom last week against Kansas City. He got ran over by Mahomes. I don't really care about that. It's getting overblown, whatever. So the defense has been improving week by week, and I'm especially loving how the young guys are looking at there. I just put out a review on Evan Anderson on the TikTok. If you want to go check that out, link will be in the description below. So I think those are going to be the keys to taking down the Dallas Cowboys. Listen, they're not a good team. They don't have a good run game. Shut down CeeDee Lamb. You can beat this team. They're not a good run defense either, so I would really love to see Jordan Mason go off for 100-plus yards and multiple touchdowns. That would be pretty sick. Okay, so let's go over, is it time to panic? What is the panic meter on for the 49ers? I know some people are obviously going to be higher than others. I'm at about a 6.5. I'm a little more than halfway. I'm obviously more panicking than I am calm. But I'm not super panicking to the point where, okay, blow it up. This is disgusting to watch. This team is bad. There's no future in this team. I think this team still has that potential. Again, I mentioned 2022. This team still has got all the potential in the world. The only thing is missing Brandon Ayuk for the season is going to be big. But, if Debo gets healthy, Jennings gets healthy, Ricky Pearsall can hopefully fill in that void. We've seen this team go to the Super Bowl with a lot less. We've seen this team led by Jimmy Garoppolo, with a rookie Debo Samuel, with Emmanuel Sanders, and Kendrick Bourne. I think this receiving group is a little bit better than that one. It's all about Kyle Shanahan calming this team down and getting the plays right, getting creative. Keep the defense on their toes, man. So this team, even with those injuries, you're still talented. Still believe in Brock Purdy. He's shown some good things still. The O-line hopefully can improve. Hopefully they hold up. I think that they should against the Dallas Cowboys. Jordan Mason, he is a very talented runner. The receiving room is iffy, but you still got, you can still use Pearsall. I want to see Jacob Cowing get involved a little bit more this week. Offensive line, yes, it's not the greatest. You got Trevor Lawrence, you got Dominic Putney. Defensively, though, again, still talented. Still big Fred Warner in the mix there. Still got Nick Bosa. You still got Travaris Ward and Diamond Lenore, and then of course Brown and Mustafa as the safeties. Those are the young guys. They're playing into their roles. So you've still got a lot of talent up and down this roster. There's really no excuse not to at least win the division. And you got to find your groove. CMC and Greenlaw are coming back. The bye week couldn't have come at a better time. The bye week is the week after the Dallas Cowboys. Take down the Cowboys. Get the job done. Enjoy your week off. Rest. Recuperate. Get fired up. Go on a run after the bye week. And bada bing, bada boom. Everybody's happy. Everybody's happy. You get CMC back. You're going to get Greenlaw back. You feel rejuvenated. Hopefully Debo gets healthy. Jennings. Everybody that's hurt, they come back. And this is going to look like a completely different team, I think, in about 2-3 weeks. So just stay patient and hang in there. So overall, that's how I'm feeling about the 49ers. Is it time to panic? Not quite yet, in my opinion. In my opinion, not quite yet to panic. But this Dallas Cowboys game does feel like a must win. This is going to be the game where if they lose, this team is going to feel soul crushed. And they are just not going to be motivated to keep going with fire for the rest of the way. But I think it's going to happen. So let's stay let's stay believing. Let's stay faithful, folks, because hey, that's all we do around here. Let's keep it calm. A lot of people are calling for Shanahan's head. They're calling for his job. Guys, Shanahan is still one of the best play callers in the game. If you let him go, it's not going to be pretty. I know a lot of people, I think that this fan base is a little overly emotional, but then they kind of say, we're just being real here, and I get it. Shanahan is still one of the best play callers in the game. Think of his tree, man. Think of his tree. You got the Mike McDaniels. You got the Robert Saleh, who just got fired recently, so maybe not the greatest example there. But the Shanahan tree is legit. Look at Sean McVay. The Rams, they're going through kind of a tough era right now. I think they're going to get it together in a couple years or so with a new group of guys. Shanahan, you've got your new group of guys right here. We're looking at them. We're looking at Pearsall. We're looking at Cowing. Build around Dominic Pooney on the O-line. Defensively, you've got still Fred Warner. You got D. Winters progressing. You got Malik Mustafa. You got Ronaldo Green. You've got a lot of young key pieces that this team, the future of this team are here. We are going to be entering a new era soon. And if we lose the Dallas Cowboys, that new era is going to come a lot sooner than we think. That Super Bowl window gets a lot tighter. Getting a little crazy there, but all I'm saying is this Cowboys game is going to tell how the rest of the season goes. So I will see you in the recap for the Dallas Cowboys Sunday Night Football game. Post that game, we'll get that video up. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Check out the link in the description below for my socials. I'm a lot more active on TikTok, so definitely go take a look at what I've got on there. I will see y'all in the next one. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of The Gold Rush. I'm your host, Javen Takar. Stay faithful, folks. Peace out.